Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about Nio. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. Today we're going to be doing a video about Nio Stock. Should you buy Nio Stock at $36.32? What I personally think about Nio and why I think right now is actually a very good time to buy Nio. But before I start the video, guys, I just want everybody to know that everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It is just my personal opinion and for educational purposes only. So that being said, let's get started with the video. So today we're going to be talking about Nio. Why I think right now Nio is a very good buy, $36.32, and what's been going on with Nio stock. I mean, obviously we've seen it's been a rough week for Nio. Taking a look at the 1 week chart, down 13.68%, kind of a little bit of a tank following their earnings. Looking at the 1 month chart, down about 12.46%, and looking at the 3 month chart, we see this high here on June 30, where we said we did see Nio make a little bit of a recovery, but slowly back down. Nio's kind of been falling. And a lot of people have kind of been wondering, what's been going on with Nio? Like, why is Nio stock actually tanking? What's been going on with everything? Well, I hope to explain that all. And why I think right now is a very still good time to be buying Nio. So if you're taking a look at it, right, we got to dive into Nio's earnings, and their earnings were not bad. Yes, the company, it's been known for a while that the company is not profitable. We've known that Nio does operate at a loss, but it is getting closer and closer to profitability. Analyzing all their balance sheets, we see that all their cash flows have turned positive. So Nio is definitely headed in the right direction. We see that their company is continuing to sell more cars. We see that the company is doing it the best it can, to continue pumping out cars, even with a chip shortage. If you guys didn't know, kind of affecting the car world right now. We have a huge chip shortage. It was kind of like a fire that took out a big factory in Japan. And a lot of car manufacturers are getting hit really, really hard because of this chip shortage. And a lot of people speculate that this could definitely even, hurt Nio into 2022. So obviously a big deal, but it's not just Nio. It's hurting Tesla, it's hurting Ford, it's hurting Nissan. It's hurting basically every car manufacturer out there in the world. But outside of that, we got to dive in. But we see that Nio's vehicles, their deliveries are still very, very good. We see that Nio is still cranking out a lot of deliveries. But there's just kind of a little tension in the market right now that's kind of just taking out Nio stock. But it has nothing to do with business fundamentals. And this is the most important part that you guys really want to look out for, especially when it comes to buying stocks, right? It's not that Nio is doing anything wrong for the stock to continue tanking, week after week or month after month. Like I said, their deliveries are good. They're growing, they're expanding. We got a dive into their expansion plans into Europe, which is absolutely amazing. We see that they're dropping an ET7 sedan, their first sedan in actual production. So we see that Nio is making moves in the right direction, right? We also can't forget about the self-autonomous driving technology, which is probably the main reason right now why a lot of these EV companies are kind of a little bit under heat. If you guys didn't know, there was a huge kind of investigation going on with Tesla right now regarding their autopilot system. Now, this autopilot system has been shown to actually be safer than actual people driving, but you want the autopilot to be as safe as possible. And if there's fatalities because of this, that's not a very good sign. We see that Nio also does, hope to put chips into their cars, and they're also working on the self-driving technology. So this probably did take a little bit of hit on the stocks. We saw Tesla stock tanking as well because of this, and a lot of the EV market tanking because a lot of these EV companies are kind of headed towards cars that can autopilot or basically drive themselves. But looking at it from a bigger perspective, guys, I know there's a lot of fear right now in the market, and I know that there's a lot of people speculative on like buying stocks right now, especially when it comes to stocks that are absolutely tanking. But I want people to know right now that for me, I'm taking the opportunity to continue to add on to my positions when it comes to Nio because I am super, super bullish on Nio in the long term. I know a lot of people generally start to panic when this starts to happen. Yes, we've seen it time and time again. And yes, it is scary. There's a lot of people out there losing money, but I want you guys to take perspective that everybody out there is losing money. Unless you're shorting the market right now, then you're probably making a little bit of money. But I lost money. There's a lot of big time investors out there who are losing money, who are holding lots of these shares. So you guys are not the only ones in this boat that are kind of going through this right now, right? We see that Nio stock has not really been doing too well, but for me, it's days like these where I take the opportunity and I buy the dip on the stock. Obviously, that's not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. But seeing the trajectory of growth that Nio's actually, going, seeing how they're continuing to expand, seeing how they're pulling a full front effort to be known all around the world. They're already expanding into Europe. probably have plans to start expanding into the United States as well. We see the company is growing. It's got a huge backing by China, and a lot of analysts, even though being a Chinese company, which is another reason why, you know, Nio Stock has not been doing well. A lot of Chinese stocks have been under a lot of heat right now. And, you know, with all due diligence, I mean, for me personally, I don't feel like there should be any fear behind that at all. I don't think Chinese stocks are going to get delisted. I don't have any fears of that at all. But what we do know is there's a lot of people out there, you know, holding Chinese stocks. We saw a lot of Chinese ETFs completely tanking over the last couple of months. And it just goes to show that there's probably a little bit of panic in that department as well. But for me, I'm bullish on Nio in the long term. And this is something I want to reiterate to everybody. When you are investing, and especially when it comes to stocks like Nio that are more of a projection of growth, you know, you do have to play the patient game. You do have to be patient when it comes to Nio Stock. We do have to sit there and wait for Nio to do its own thing. But for me, I know that Nio is going to be absolutely huge. I know that Nio is growing in the right direction. It's doing all it can to continue to be the great company that it is. And we see days like this where it's like, but it's not really showing because the stock continues to tank. You know, we got a huge jump up back to $55. Everybody was excited, like, all right, Nio's back to all-time highs, and then retreated back to $20 in basically almost 2 months. So it is a little bit kind of stressful when it comes to these specific scenarios. But for me, I never really panic when it comes to these type of scenarios, because for me, I just view it as like, okay, if I'm bullish on the stock, I've done my due diligence, the company's not doing anything fraudulent, the company's still growing, the company's still selling cars, the company's still making money, I have nothing to be worried about. It's just a stock price for now, but I know that Nio is going to be doing amazing things in the future. We see them doing amazing things already. We see how they're cranking out new sedans. We see how the company's moving very, very quickly to continue to expand and work on the self-autonomous driving technology, the only EV company that offers its battery as a service. So Nio's differentiation from other EV companies out there, you know, really does show a lot. Aside from its backing by the Chinese government, also does show that Nio is definitely going to be one of the top EV winners. And I think a lot of people know this, but this is why I think people right now should be buying the dip on Nio Stock. I think right now Nio Stock is an absolute bargain at $36.32. But with that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. You guys let me know down in the comments section below, guys, what you think of Nio. Do you guys think Nio right now is a very good buy at $36.32? If you guys own Nio Stock, how many shares do you guys own and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.